All right, so I've been thinking about creativity, problem solving, asking better questions, and this type of stuff a lot this week. And I just came into the kitchen and this tied into those things. So for most of you, you probably remember how most of the old fridges, the freezer was up top and the fridge was down below. Then they went to like a side by side. And then now a lot of the freezers are on the bottom and the fridges are on the top. And it hit me that it's a great thing for problem solving because we can get caught up in doing things a certain way because that's how they've always been done. So for a long time, the freezer was always on top, the fridge was always on the bottom. But then eventually somebody took a step back and said, okay, wait a minute. We're in the fridge more than we're in the freezer. So why don't we put the freezer on the bottom instead of on the top, because that makes the most sense. And when it probably happened, I'm guessing, I don't really actually know, but I guess when it probably happened, people were like, oh my gosh, like that company's crazy. You can't do that. The freezer's always on the top. But it made a lot of sense. And then eventually it got adopted to where that's a more standard way to do it because it made more sense. So when we're facing problems or we're trying to, I don't know, create change or create something different, we can't hesitate to think differently and just a lot of times just think about what makes sense and do the thing that makes sense and don't get caught up in the way that things used to be or the way that things that always were. And this whole fridge thing made me think of that today. So anyway, just be okay with being creative, be okay with just doing things that make sense. And a lot of times that's where really cool innovation comes from.